So let's begin. The recipe for this wonderful bow on bow is, of course, we have the base finger. We're going to do the center finger on row B for our first ribbon, and our second ribbon will be dropped on row C. Then we'll be using fingers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, both right and left, and set your fingers on row C and D. Okay? To achieve the look on bow, you drop ribbon on 2 different rows at one time. So there's our bow recipe, and we are ready to begin. Whenever you set your ribbon on your spool holders, you want to set your ribbon that you want to be on the inside, your access ribbon, set it on the first dowel, and then set your ribbon that's your beautiful ribbon that you just want to have accented, set it in the second position, so that when it rolls off, you want that one to be on the top. Okay, so you're going to pinch your 2 ribbons together. I always swing it around into my left hand. Come from behind with 26 gauge wire. 26 gauge wire is very important. You don't want to bulk up your bows with a lot of heavy wire. 1, 2, up and down. Now it's up and down. Just lay your ribbon down and make sure that it comes around. You're always coming around the bottom of your bow maker, and you go around. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a ribbon over the back one, and then my accent ribbon over the front one. And that's all you have to do. And just let the bow maker hold your ribbon for you. We're going to pinch this around the base finger. Take your top piece of wire, go up. Y'all don't wrap it around down here, because you want to be able to find it at the end. You want to, let me zoom in for that. I want you to see this real clearly. You want to take your piece of wire and go up, and then wrap it around itself at the top. Just try to do this very neatly, and it'll hold a little better if you kind of wrap it on itself. Okay, you're gonna switch hands, go around the nail just once. That's all you have to do. You don't have to go around a bunch of times. That's just kind of waste of movement. And stick that piece of wire underneath the board, and then that's how that looks at this point. That's as close as I can get. Let me hold it up. This is how this is supposed to look at this point. Okay, and you're ready. You've made your first loop, your center loops, and we are ready to go. Pinch that really tightly there. Okay, finger here, bottom edge of ribbon to my finger. We're pulling both. Don't worry about that little piece. Just kind of tuck that back there. That's not going to cause you a problem at all. Sit both ribbon on your finger. There's my pinch, and there's my twist. It's a half twist. Please stop at it's a half twist. You bring in the bottom edge of your ribbon around. Now, you can kind of separate them. Let me swing out just a bit. You're going to kind of separate them, because you're going to take your first piece of ribbon, drop it, okay, and then your second piece of ribbon, drop it, and that's all there is. That's all there is to it. Okay, that was finger to right. Let's do finger to left. I want you to notice something also. This is very important. You see this little half twist that's starting. This always twist on the right. This is what's so important about having your spool holder sitting here. That little half twist starts on the right. We want no twisted ribbon. We're going to make that go away. You're going to put your finger here. See how I come in sideways? I'm coming in sideways. I never come in like this. I come in sideways. I'm always keeping the bottom edge of the ribbon in sight, because I'm pinching to my finger, and then I bring the bottom edge of the ribbon up. And that's all there is to it. Bottoms up. I'll always say bottoms up. That means you're bringing the bottom edge of the ribbon up. and you can hold your thumb there if you would like. And as you can see, miraculously, your ribbon now is straight. You have no twist in your ribbon. You're going to take your first ribbon, drop it over the back, your second ribbon, drop it over the front one, and tighten it up just a little. There's no reason to just pull hard. Just kind of tighten it up. Like I said, let everything hold, and that's all there is. That's all there is to it. So see how this looks? And then this is how this looks. Every time you're going to make every pinch and twist directly on the one before it. See how that looks? That's how that's supposed to look. Let me zoom in. I want you to have a real good shot at this. Okay. See? That's how it's supposed to look. And that's all we're going to do now. That's all there is to it. You just go back and forth, and there you go. You'll have your bow. So, finger here. Bottom edge of ribbon to my finger. There's my pinch. There's my twist. Bring the bottom edge of the ribbon up. I'm getting that little half twist here. You can hold your thumb here. You can kind of just hold your thumb, hold everything in place. You can start kind of bringing everything around, but you're going to drop your designer ribbon to the back, your accent ribbon to the front. Incredibly easy. And just drop it down. Come on, go down. There you go. There's that little, see the little half twist? But see, there it is. But because we're doing that bottoms up movement, it's going to go away. I'm keeping the bottom edge of my ribbon in sight. There's my pinch. Make a pretty little gather. Whoop, bottoms up. Let me show you that again. I really made a pretty little gather and bottoms up. It's a half twist. You can hold your thumb there and just hold everything in place, and then take your designer ribbon to the outside. Kind of separate that. Designer ribbon to the outside, and then there's your accent ribbon there. And that's all there is to it. So here's the pinch. There's the pinch. There's the twist. Let's pull our designer ribbon to the out. Accent to the inside. And just back and forth. And guys, that's all there is to it. Making sure you do the bottoms up movement every time. And you see how your ribbon is, you see how you can see it going around. You can already see it straight. You just want to, if you do bottoms up each time, your ribbon from your hands to your spools is never going to twist on you. So there's the pinch. There's the twist. I can hold my thumb there. Drop it over. Drop it over. There you go. And there's your bow on bow. We're making a bow inside of another bow. And here's your pinch, and here's your twist. Okay, I'm just going to give this, you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to tell you this, and just in case, if you have a tendency to pull, if you're pulling really hard on your ribbon, which a lot of people have a tendency to do, and if that happens, it'll make this one, it'll make all of this want to kind of kick up, okay? If that's happening to you, let me tell you how you can control. What you want to do is you always want to control the stack. You want to make sure that your stack just stays even. If you're having a little bit of trouble with this, all you have to do, you see my little, this is my helping hand wire. Again, this is a 26 gauge wire. You never want to use anything heavier than that because you don't want to bulk up. You don't want to bulk up the stack of your bow with wire. So, see your loop? There's your center loop. Let me change hands just so you can see. See your center loop? You see how see that hole there? All you're going to do is take your piece of wire and run it through that center loop. I have got a little burr on the end of that. Run it through, and I always see it coming out the bottom. See it coming out the bottom right there? See that piece of wire? See it coming out? That's all you have. That's all this is. is putting a piece of wire through that center loop, and I'm just pulling it to me. See how I'm just pulling it to me? You want it to come out the dead center. This is the dead bottom of your bow. And look, I'm just going to tighten this up. I'm going to pull it as tight as I possibly can. Just tight, tight. See how you can just pull? You can tell I'm just pulling and just go around. Just go around just two or three times. That's all. And you see how if you've had any problem at all with your stack staying absolutely straight and tight, you see how that's supposed to look? Let me come in. You see how that looks? This is what is so incredibly important in making beautiful bows, is keeping the stack. This is the stack of the bow, and you want to keep that controlled. If you're having any problem at all doing that, you can just add that helping hand wire there. Okay? So that's just a little trick. So now you want to open up that little piece of wire. You want a piece going up and a piece going down, because you're going to be going in between the wires, just like before. So kind of get that out of your way. And here we go. We're going to pinch, and there's the twist. Pinch and twist. Let's see. Let's make sure. I'm going to make sure that you're seeing this really well. Y'all, that's why I'm watching it on this monitor. So I'm going to make sure that you're seeing what I want you to. You can put your thumb there, and you see what you can do. This is another little trick. You see what you can do. You see how I've kind of raised that and kind of lowered that. That's kind of a little process of fluffing already. That's going to make your bow open from the dead center. Whenever we fluff this, you want this bow to open from the dead center, and this is just going to make your loop just open even prettier. Okay, so let's piece of ribbon to the outside and one to the inside. Okay, get down there. Come on, get on down there. Go. There we go. There we go. All lined up, all pretty. Here we go. Here's our pinch. There's our twist. You can hold your thumb there if you would like. You're going to take this piece of ribbon. As you can see, y'all, it's just back and forth, back and forth. That's all there is to it. And all I'm doing is just going back and forth, and I'm letting all the bow maker hold everything for me. Incredibly, incredibly easy. You never have stress on your hands. Here's finger here, bottom edge to my finger. There's my pinch. There's my half twist. And you see how I'm sitting this up, and I'm kind of pulling that down. That's kind of fluffing my bow already. Here we go. We're on the last finger. Let's drop the red to the outside, our beautiful red velvet, and our accent here. And finger here, bottom edge of ribbon to my finger. There's my pinch. And there's my twist. Bottom edge. There's our beautiful ribbon there. And here's the other one here. Drop down. And here, coming back. You see how you're just eyeballing it? I'm just eyeballing it from, because now the stack of my bow has gotten really deep, because I'm pulling two ribbon at once, and I'm just eyeballing it. You want to keep this as straight as possible. And there's my pinch, and there's my twist. Okay, now I'm going to use that little helping hand wire. I'm going to tie it off first. Make sure you go behind your finger. Don't go over your finger. You're going to be attached to your bow. You don't want to do that. Just make sure you slip that right behind your finger there, and pull up. You want to tighten this up just as much as possible. Ring it around just a couple of times. Don't go too many times or you wire will break. Okay, that's how that's supposed to look. That's our little piece of wire there. Okay, now I've tied this off. Now I don't want to have just one tail on this bow. I want to have two beautiful long tails. So all I'm going to do is bring ribbon around. You see how I can just make a circle with my ribbon? I'm just going to bring my ribbon around, and you just want to measure this off however long you would like it, however long you want the tail on your bow. I'm going to put this on a wreath, so I want a nice pretty long tail. So I'm going to tie this into my helping hand wire first. See how I'm just going to sit that there and tie it in. Two or three times around. See how that is supposed to look? That's how that's supposed to look at this point, okay? And we've just made a circle. And now we're going to cut this ribbon off. Let me move, change hands. We're going to cut this ribbon off right there, okay? We're going to cut that. Now let's get our scissors. Make sure we cut the right one. Okay, here's our circle. We've come around. This is our extra piece. If you wanted to have 3 tails on this bow, you could, but for this particular time, you see, you could cut all this way down here. You could have 3, but on this particular bow, I just want to have 2 tails. So I am going to put my arm up here and get out your way. So you see how I'm just going to cut that off right there? I'm cutting that off. Now I have my 2 tails. See, I'm going to have 2 tails, and I'm going to hold them up. Well, I'll probably just do this one at a time. My scissors aren't that sharp. And I'm going to fold this over. From the fold out, there's your dovetail. And I'm going to dovetail this at this time. Pull them out. Fold over from the fold out to the edge, and there's your dovetail. Okie doke. And now we have a beautiful bow, 2 beautiful tails, and that's it. Our bow is made. Now let's move on to the fluff box, and we're going to fluff this bow. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, I didn't take this piece of wire off. Y'all, don't just jerk your piece of wire up. You see, I moved it kind of quick there. You see, I'm glad that kind of happened, because you see, you have to kind of just jiggle it off, okay? Pull it down. Get this piece of wire off the nail, and then tie this one off. Y'all, I was going to just pick up my bow and leave it tied to the whole board, okay? There we go. Now we have all of our wire in place. Okay? Thank you, Terry Lynn Marshall. She's the first person that showed me. Y'all, it's easier if you take this dowel out and look, it just pops right off. Okay? It's always nice when you have friends and show you how to use your own product. That was a great idea by Terry Marshall. Okie doke. Okay, now we have our fluff box. Let's set our bow on our fluff box. I'm going to pull my tails down first. Okay, because this is a very specific kind of bow. Okay, it really makes a difference how you now open these loops. My center loop, you can kind of play with that now if you'd like. Okay, see how pretty that looks? You can see how this gold is accenting this red. Okay, what you want to do, this is the loop that was on finger 6. Pull it down. That goes down. That one's going to go down. That was 6. This is 5. Leave it right here. 4, you pull up, pull it up. See how you're forming your bow? This is 6, 4, 5, 3, 2. Y'all see how the fluff box is just essential? See how I can just pull, see how I'm pulling on this? And I'm pulling this ribbon over where I want it to be. So now I've placed my ribbon where I want it to be, and now I'm just gonna come back and just make it pretty. And see how I'm gonna pull that out and just kind of set it in place. Okay, see how, oh, this is gonna be so pretty. And then I'm just gonna round this off and just set this in place. This velvet ribbon is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm just loving this. And then each loop you just do the same way. You just kind of pull it apart a little bit and then kind of set it back in, because you want it nice and round, and your little accent ribbon just peeking out. Just peek it out. And once you get it on your wreath, you're going to fluff it a little more and kind of play with it some more. Okay? And so let's round this. See how I kind of pull it out and then I just set it back in. Okay? And I kind of do that because I want this to open all the way to the center. I want the full effect of my loops, and it's giving me a nice round. I don't want my loops to be flat. Okay? See how that opens all the way to the center? See how that does? Just so pretty. See, that's giving me a nice round effect. And there's half of the bow, and it's just beautifully done. See? See how half looks? So hold it up, and then there's half. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, let's turn it around. Let me hurry and do the other side. And then I hold it up. I hold up the whole finished up bow. So 6 goes down. The loop on row 6, on finger 6 down. 5. This was on 4. You see how I'm holding this down with my hand? See how the fluff box is just essential? See, because now I'm forming this bow. So that was 6, 5, 4. I'm going to hold it down with my hand again. 3. Nope, 3 goes down. I'm doing it backwards. 3 and 2. Okay, I was doing that upside down almost for a second there. Okay, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, they're in place, and now I can foo-foo. You're going to round these out all the way to the center, and then just set this together. So pretty. And if y'all watched me before, y'all know I have a tendency to just foo-foo and foo-foo. I never know when to stop. I can just play forever. And I'm pulling this apart because I want this to get nice and rounded all the way to the dead center. And then I just kind of sit it back in there. Okay, that's looking pretty. Okay, just sit it back in there. Make it nice and rounded and pretty. Okay, let's see. And I want to sit here and make sure everything's in. You see how this loop is kind of dead right across from this one. These two are kind of coming up at the same angle. The ones that were on 6, these are down here on the same angle. For this kind of bow, you want everything. You really want both sides to pretty much look the same. You're gonna get a much prettier bow. And so this one, I want it to be the same position as on this side. Okay, and you see how I can do this because I have it on my fluff box. And I'm maneuvering, I'm making all of this ribbon do exactly what I want it to do. Okay. And then this one. See how you just take a moment and just get that all nice and pretty, just really fluff this up. You want to fluff this bow, shape this bow. On this bow, I almost don't call it fluffing, I call it more shaping. And here we go. We just have an absolutely gorgeous velvet bow to put on your wreath. Sometime that's all you want, is just a beautiful bow, a little bit of embellishment. This application really works beautifully. I've seen tons of homes, lots and lots of pictures where people put just wreaths and bows all over the, and cover all of their windows. Look how beautiful that is. So there is a bow on bow. This is just to enhance the very traditional red velvet bow. And you can see how each side matches the other, okay? This needs to be pulled down. Like I said, once I get this on the wreath, I'll adjust this. This needs to pull down just a little bit more. Like I said, I like both sides to be just about the same, and I'll be able to adjust that when I get it on the wreath. You can see I needed to fix that. So look, there, this was on row 6, on finger 6, 6, 6, 5, this is 5, and there's 5, that's the one that was on 5, 6, 5, 4, 4, and 4. You can see how they just look the same on both sides. This was 3 and 3, 2 and 2. So there is your bow. I hope you've enjoyed this. Y'all, incredibly easy to do. This is bow on bow. Let the bow maker hold everything for you. Y'all, there's no way I could make this in my hand. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much.